for coming out tonight to Arden's Garden. It's a pleasure to have you all here, and welcome to those of you watching at home. We are delighted and thrilled to bring you Mr. Joe Craven.
John Henry? Yeah, I remember John. I grew up outside of Charleston in West Virginia. When I had to go to work to support the family, I worked the rails in the mines and the tunnels. Southern Pennsylvania went up into the mountains of West Virginia as well. I believe that's where I met John. He was a big man. Must have weighed 275. He had a 9-pound hammer, one in each hand. One similar to this, I do good with a good 3.5-pounder these days, but that's what it looked like. And he had incredible rhythm. He could drive a spike clean to the rail tie with one stroke with the left hand and do the same with the right hand. I've never seen anything like him. He had incredible strength and endurance. One day the captain of the crew, he brought in a newfangled steam drill. He was going to replace some of the men's jobs. He decided go for efficiency. Well, John decided to challenge the steam drill to a contest of pride. John paid a price. He passed away of a brain aneurysm, but he taught us all a very important lesson. And if you give yourself a chance, you can still hear John. You can still hear John driving that steel into boulders, blasting out rock to make tunnels for the rails, and going down into the coal mines, the bituminous coal mines, and working any fine job he could get his hands on. These young fellas, they'd hold these spikes for John to drive down to the tie. Those fellas were called shakers. That was before workman's comp. It was tough work back then. Yeah, that's the sound of that steam drill. Yeah, that's the sound of John. That's John driving those rails, driving those spikes. That John, when he wasn't working hard, he liked to play a tune on the banjo. This is a fine banjo here. This one has really good harmony. He just liked to pick a tune, sing a song for the men when the work was done. John was a little baby boy, sitting on his daddy's knee. His daddy cried out his lonesome farewell, saying, Johnny gonna be steel driving man. Little Johnny gonna be steel driving man. John told his daddy, well, a man ain't nothing but a man. But before I let a steel drill break me down, gonna die with a hammer in my hand, Daddy. Gonna die with a hammer in my hand. Yonder is what I see. Your drill's done broke and holes done choked, and you can't drive steel like me, no way. You can't drive steel like me. Captain said to John Henry, I believe that mountain is sinking in. John Henry, he left at his captain, say nothing but my hammer sucking wind, y'all. Ain't nothing but my hammer sucking wind. John Henry had a little woman, yes he did. Her name was Polly. John Henry took sick and he couldn't work no more. Polly drove the steel like a man, y'all. Polly drove the steel like a man. Oh, Johnny. Yeah, Johnny. John Henry went into the shut-up, had Sweet Polly by his side. Then as well as John Henry said, bring me a drink before I die, boys. A cool drink of water before I die. They took old Johnny to the graveyard. They buried him under the sand. The rabbit locomotive come a-roaring by. Yonder lies a steel-driving man in the grave. Yonder lies a steel-driving man. Yonder lies a steel-driving man in that grave. Yonder lies a steel-driving man. Yeah, Johnny. Talk about John Henry's butt, shed you please. Say and do all that you can. There never was born in this great big old land. Never such a steel-driving man, and Lordy, never such a steel-driving man. Never such a steel-driving man in the grave. Never such a steel-driving man. Thank you. I'd like to feature, oh, that's right, he's going to change microphones for you now. By the way, these canjos, folks, it's music for less than the price of a good meal out, and it just keeps on giving. This next piece, folks have recorded this, folks from Huddie Ledbetter, the great Leadbelly, to Nirvana, and I'd like to feature it on one of my favorite musical instruments, the Angel Flute Cake Pan. Of course, we don't want to have ourselves a workshop on the difference between cake pans and bunt pans at the moment, but perhaps during Q&A we can get around to that.
engine bay at 6 o'clock. The cab passed by at 9. In the pines and the pine where the sun never shines, and the shoe and the cold wind blow. In the pines and the pine where the sun never shines, and we shoot away the cold wind blow. I asked my captain all the time of day, turned his back on me and walked away. A long steel rail and a shock of sky on these tracks until I die. In the pines and the pine, the sun never shines, and we shiver where the cold wind blow. In the pines and the pine, where the sun never shines, where we shiver where the cold wind blow. Little girl, what have I done? Makes you treat me oh so mean. You cause me to wait and you cause me to moan, cause me to leave my happy home. In the pines and the pine where the sun never shines, and we shiver when the cold wind blow. In the pines and the pine where the sun never shines, and we shiver when the cold wind blow. And we shiver when the cold wind blow. And we shiver when the cold wind blow.
All right. We have any Johnny Cash fans in the house? All right. One of my favorite songs of all time. I would have loved to have seen Johnny do a video of this. It's such a wonderful story. You get to create the DVD in your mind right now. It's about a little shoeshine boy. And he offers up a wonderful life lesson to a fella in a suit who's on his way to a big corporate meeting, and he realizes he has a little scuff on his shoe, so he's got to get rid of that scuff. And the little shoeshine boy gives him a little bit more. This, by the way, this features the Marball No. 6 waste can standard equipment at Holiday Inn Expresses across America. Legitimately acquired, I might point out. Little shoeshine boy gets low down. He's got the dirtiest job in town, bending low at the people's feet on the windy corner of a dirty street. Why, I asked him, does he shine my shoes, how he keeps from getting the blues. He grinned and shook his little head, grabbed his shoeshine rag, and then he said, get rhythm. When you get them blues with rhythm. When you get the blues, rock and roll, feel it in your bones. Tap on your toes, mister, get going, your rhythm. When you get the blues,
Oh, the shark has pearly teeth, dear. Wiped out. Everybody.
I used to think that after last year's elections, this was all that was left of the Democratic Party. But I got hope.
Yeah, shoeshine boy, I see what you're talking about. 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 I stopped and listened to the shoeshine boy, and I thought I was gonna jump for joy. He slapped on shoe polish, left and right, grabbed the shoeshine rag and held it tight. He only wiped it once to wipe the sweat away. A mighty little boy to be working that way. He said, I like it with a big wide grin, and he kept on popping it and said again, get rhythm. When you get the blues, get rhythm. When you get the blues, rock and roll, feel it in your bones. Tap on your toes and miss to get going. Your rhythm. When you get the blues, get rhythm. When you get the blues, get rhythm. When you get the blues.
Wow. I'm going to be featuring that on my new aerobic DVD workout. That's just melt the pounds away while you play. I'd like to bring up three very distinguished gentlemen who I've had the pleasure of working with for a number of years, and we'll play some big music now. Some big music. I don't know if I won the talent show yet, but we'll see. This is the first version of this next tune that I heard, this wonderful song, was by Bob Wills and his Texas Playboys. Can I get a Monterey? Ah! Yes, yes. Mighty fine. Oh, sorry, sir, you're late. No, it's all right. It's good. Ah, Corina. It's a great, anybody familiar with that one? It's a good one. Little tip of the hat to Bill Monroe right up front, the father of bluegrass music. Corina, it's been so long. Corina, where you been so long? Ain't had no loving since you been gone. Corina, where you stay last night? Corina, where you stay last night? When you came home, girl, you know the sun was bright. Corina, what's the matter now? Corina, what's the matter now? Done gone bad sugar, that ain't good no how. Corina, way across the sea. Corina, way across the sea. Ain't done no good, darling, since you left me. Corina, you're a pal of mine. Corina, you're a pal of mine. I love you, darling. I love you all the time. Corina, yeah, oh, baby. I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love to take my foot and I. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, baby, baby. And did it say, yeah, soul. Hey, yeah, squeeze, I love you, Corina. God knows I do. I love you, Corina. I love you, yes, I do. I know someday, baby, you'll come to love me too. I love your little Hattie Rose, God knows I do.
I love you, little Hattie Rose. I know someday you'll come to love me too, Sammy. Yes, sir. Way across the sea, Corina, way across the sea, baby. I ain't done no good, darling, since you left me. But I love you, Corina, God knows I do. Yes, I love you, Corina, I love you, yes I do. I know someday, babe, you'll come to love me too. Yes, I know someday, baby, you'll come to love me too. I know someday, baby, you'll come to love me too.
Thank you so much. Woo! Y'all say hi to Sam Bevan on the bass. Woo! Okay, we're gonna try to slip in one more here before the break. Real quick, whee! It's a fiddle tune. Beautiful fiddle tune. It's one called the Ook Pick Waltz. Dance floor is open. Tax and license not included. Some waltzes may vary. Mr. John R. Burr on the keyboards. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you.
I want to let the folks at home know that you are watching the Joe Craven Quartet, and you can find Joe on the internet at joecraven.com. We'll take just a couple of quick questions from the audience. If you have a question for Joe, raise your hand and I'll come over to you with the microphone. Okay.
So Joe, you sound grand. If a fellow wanted to pick up a Canjo, you know, and he went down to the grocery store and he bought a Canjo can and he stuck a stick on it, could he really learn how to play such a thing?
Absolutely. It's basically, you know, a banjo is a drum on a stick, sir. That's basically what it is, and this is really no different in terms of the basic idea. And all you got to do is put your hand like this, and all you have to do is take your fingers and just kind of, and then just put your fingers down in different places, and then just. I'm
more interested in the structure of this thing.
But see, from there,
It's just a matter of playing.
then you just do it. That's all you got to do is
I gotta
just.
tell you, Joe, it's a thing of beauty.
And you look mighty fine with one. Way to go, man! Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Anybody else? One over here.
Yeah, Joe, I understand as well as you cut records, you're out on the road making music, but you're also taking music and rhythm into schools as an educator. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
I'm a populist when it comes to music. I believe that everybody, if they choose, can make music and should make music. And it comes from the tradition of what folk music is really all about for me, and that's the idea of celebrating your own stories. Everybody has stories to tell in song and in melody and rhythms, beat out on anything that's within arm's reach. And you have this blueprint that you're born with, and that blueprint is your diagram, your life journey to make art. And it is a choice, but if you choose to do it, you already have it here. It's not this elusive thing out there. So all you need to do is open yourself up to the world and find keys to help unlock your art and bring it out into play. And do it not for the idea that you're going to be a performer. If it leads to that, great. But do it for no other reason than the fact that it helps you become more of who you already are. And that's a really great, special person. And that's the message. Starts with there and goes on. There's, you know, it's a funny thing, there's not really a whole lot to me in terms of the components of music, the elements of music, there's not much to it. But the good news is that it takes a lifetime to learn it. And that's the great journey. So that's in a nutshell, that's the message of what I'm trying to bring to kids in the schools and communities at large. Celebrating the fact that everybody, if they choose, can do this. Everybody in this room is gifted and talented. Everybody. There's a lot of aesthetically wounded individuals out there. And sometimes we just need to give them permission to take possession of their music. Once again. So there you go. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and bring down the house lights and jump back into the music so we can get the maximum amount of music possible.
Okay. I love, speaking of folk music, I love old fiddle tunes. I love old songs from all over the world. I love country music. It doesn't really matter what country it's from. This is a celebration of rhythms and melodies and feelings of music from other places in the world, blended with these couple of these old pieces, one of which was my first fiddle tune. It was actually an old-time folk song that I learned called Soldier's Joy. And we'll put that right up next to a great old fiddle tune, Leather Breeches. Ugh. We'll give everybody in the band an opportunity to show their musical stretching, including this fellow back here who is maybe my favorite drummer to play with in the world, Mr. Kendrick Freeman. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. It's a blessing for me to play with such wonderful players every night. I never take it for granted. They're wonderful guys, too. They all come from good families. Is there any water? That would be so great. Thank you. Thank you, Arden. Are there any questions about the material we're covering here so far? Okay. Whew. All right. Who likes the music of Django Reinhardt? Any Django fans? Well, there's wonderful festivals right here in Northern California that celebrate the music of Django. The Django Fest in Redwood City, California, and Yoshi's is now doing an annual Django festival. And he was a Manouche gypsy, born to Manouche gypsy parents in southern Belgium in 1910. Had a bad accident when he was about 18, and it crippled his ring and little finger on his left or fretting hand of his left hand. That was the Department of Redundancy Department, I guess that was. And anyway, so he basically had to reinvent how to play the guitar. And for those of you that have not heard the music of Django, you're in for a treat. I invite you to go and get any one of the CDs of remastered material by him and his equally late great partner, Stefan Grappelli, one of the great, if not greatest, of the jazz violinists that the world will probably ever know. This is one that they penned that we're going to give a Latin treatment to. Little tip of the hat to Brazil. It's one called Hungaria. Hungaria, written by a couple of Frenchmen. It's a Brazilian samba. So here we go. Hope you enjoy this. This is from Django Latino, which is a CD that I put together celebrating their music through a Latin lens, if you will.
Mr. Django Reinhardt.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Joe Craven Quartet. John Burr on keyboards. Kendrick Freeman on the drums. Sam Bevan on bass.
Yeah, buddy.
Mr. Joe Craven. Thank you for coming out tonight to Arden's Garden.
Be seated.